like the old adage goes, be careful what you wish for because you just might get it. And this is pertaining to the hookup culture and whether or not it backfired on young ladies and also on the fellas too. But that's a different subject for a different video. And I've actually covered this before. I've talked about it many times. I had one podcast called The Play a Lifestyle. The men were sold to play a lifestyle. Okay. But when it comes to young ladies, this whole liberation thing was packaged in a way that it was, as the name suggests, liberating. It was free. It freed them from, the oppressive nature of men. Okay. This is what it was packaged as. Now, we all know that a lot of things that society deems as right is wrong. If you want to do the right thing, do the opposite of what society does, especially nowadays. This couldn't be more true than now. This couldn't be more truer than this time that we're in right now. Maybe in past civilizations that wasn't true, but in this time it is true. And I'm gonna get into it. This is Tarek Talks, and we're gonna talk about this whole hookup culture and whether it bit the young ladies in the rear, in that badunk, in that fatty. You know what I'm talking about? So let's take it back to the time where America started to become a little more liberal. And this really actually happened in the 20s, guys. I'm not going to get too deep into the history part because some of my history buffs could probably correct me if I'm wrong. But the 20s, the roaring 20s, this is when everybody was free, kind of that the whole hippie thing before the whole hippie thing. Right? It was like the whole hippie movement before the hippie movement. And this included hooking up. People were just hooking up with each other. Now, let's be honest. Let's be clear. The whole hookup thing is nothing new. This is something that's been going on since the beginning of time, right? You look at a lot of these Roman paintings and stuff. They were doing, they was getting down. They was getting down on the floor. Well, shout out Lil Flip and David Banner. They was getting down on the floor. Women, men, all that good stuff. Dogs, cats, feel me? So this is nothing new. But at some point, it started to get reformed because society, the people running society were seeing that this wasn't good, because a lack of restraint is going to cause a lot of problems. It's like this. I always give this analogy. Candy is good, right? I love me some damn donuts. I love donuts. That's my weakness. I love donuts. You know what I'm saying? I love cake, chips. I love me, ribs, chicken, all the fried chicken, freaking burgers. I love, as all of us do. Okay, as all of us do. But we know that this stuff is going to screw you over in the long run. It feels good at the moment, but it has no kind of value, right? Alcohol, perfect example. I love to get wasted. Okay, I love to get inebriated. I know that stuff was fun, was super fun, but gave me no kind of satisfaction. It didn't do anything beneficial to my life. This is hookup culture in a nutshell. And especially when, it's young ladies doing it. Now we have a whole generation of, this whole hot girl culture. And for one, this is, it gives the illusion of liberation, but it's really not liberation, because now all of these chicks are caged into this a box of being a hot girl. I'm not going to use other terms, okay? I'm going to keep it PG. I'm just going to say hot girl. We all know other terms that we can use. Somebody that's loose, that's out there in the streets, okay? So what really was liberating about that? Now, most dudes don't even see the need for any kind of strings attached, right? They can come in and come out, and this is fun, right? A lot of chicks think this is fun. You know, it's fun. It is fun. I was part of the hookup culture myself when I was a young lad. You feel me? When I was a young man. Now I have kids, and one of them is I have a little daughter, right? And this really hits home to people who have daughters, because you've seen firsthand as a man and as a woman that participated in that foolishness, how detrimental it is in the long run. Because yeah, it's fun. It's fun when you're young. It's fun when you got it like that. It's fun when you have options like that. But let's be quite, honest. Your beauty isn't going to be there forever. Okay. Your beauty is not going to be there forever. And for a lot of young ladies, that's all they were doing. All they relied on was their seduction, right? All they relied on was that hot girl image. And that stuff only takes you so far. Okay, that stuff only takes you so far. So you thought you was being liberated, but lo and behold, you were, trapped in a box. You're now labeled. You just trapped yourself in a label, and it's hard to get out of. It's hard to get out of because see, the other lie that society said was, if you do hookups and you're liberated and all that, it's not gonna matter. Your past doesn't matter. Well, that sounds good. That sounds good. But in reality, it is going to matter a lot. It is going to matter. It is going to be the difference between a young lady being single or possibly married. Now, am I saying that that young ladies that have a history don't get married? I'm not saying that whatsoever. A lot of them do. But now it's like more and more, it's getting worse because a lot of guys are not viewing these young ladies, are not taking them seriously, because when you don't take your body seriously, when you don't take yourself seriously, then why would you expect anyone else to, right? And this goes for guys too. I'm not only picking at my ladies. If any of my ladies are still watching, if y'all didn't log off and curse me out yet, it does no good for young men either. And it really, the other thing that really backfires is your ability to find a decent mate in the long run, because you are just tying yourself up with so many men, with so many, a lot of chicks, man, with so many young ladies, right? It's a free-for-all out here, and everything has consequences. The more partners you have, the more likely it is that you are going to find it hard to move on from them, because the whole lie is that, oh, you can do this and you can do that. You can smash this guy and smash that guy and you're going to come out. It doesn't mean anything. It's just, smashing. It don't mean nothing. That is one of the biggest lies, because a lot of these, and I've seen this firsthand. A lot of these chicks are super bitter about the guys that they messed with. And the thing about it is, this was a result from the hookup culture, and they're going to try to blame it on the guys. Oh, the guy wasn't nothing, and he was a piece of garbage and all that good stuff. Yeah, that might have been true, but you put yourself out there for that to happen. And then when you do, dump that guy or y'all break up, there's no kind of self-reflection. There's no kind of, hey, look, maybe I should change, maybe I should go about this a different way. Maybe I should reevaluate myself. No, there's no self-reflection. It's, oh, I broke up with this guy. Let me go out and spread myself across the city. That's the whole mind state of a lot of these young ladies. Oh, I broke up. If you break up, you got to get on top. The only way to get over somebody is to get under them, get under another person, but whatever that old adage is. And bam, more bodies, more bodies. Now all of a sudden, this young lady is not so young anymore. She's not so young anymore, and she's getting older, and it's like, dang, this whole time I was using my seduction and I have no kind of motherly skill. I have no kind of home skills that will keep a man, because what is the old adage? You can smash, a guy can smash you, but is he going to stay? Is he going to stick around? Because it's nothing for men to, you know, come up in there at 10 o'clock at night, do their thing, and bounce. Guys, it's nothing to us. I've done it plenty of times. You guys have done it plenty of times. It is nothing for us to do that. But then after that, it's like, should I stick around? And 9 times out of 10, it's a no, because this young lady has not developed anything else, right? And by this time, you know, because of hooking up so much with so many different guys, now she has a very skewed perception of guys. Now, she's very hostile, right? She's carrying all of this baggage from all of these other so-called relationships and all these hookups. And now there's so much baggage that is hard. You know, that's why they call it soul ties, or they call, you know, that's the religious part. People, you know, religion has stated this way long ago before, you know, the manosphere guys call it bonding, pair bonding. You know, that's the manosphere. But you know, in religious texts, they've been said this. It's called soul ties. And what a soul tie is pretty much, it's a difficulty. It's a pair bond, but to somebody else. And the more people that this young lady gets involved with, the more ties she has. And what this means is the more difficult it is to bond with somebody else, because there's no way you can. And a lot of people try to deny this to this day and say, oh, it's nothing. It's just smashing, you know, it's just a quick pump and dump, or it's a quick one night type of deal. No, that's some BS, because all of those people that you'll interact with have energy. You're not just messing with somebody that's an empty vessel. No, this person has their own energy. This person has their own problems. This person has their own life. And all of that energy is absorbed by the young lady. And this is why you see a lot of chicks, you know, they're way older and they still have no man. They're still single. And a lot of them say, you know, I just seen this thing about Whoopi Goldberg, like, oh, I don't want marriages, and I just want a quick smash and stuff. Well, by that time, you know, a lot of young ladies have no choice. A lot of young ladies have no choice. You know, they try to frame it as, oh, I just want the guy to come in and do his business and you know, just hook up. Well, the thing about it is they're framing it like that, but to be honest, they have no choice. And they'll try to lie to themselves and say, oh no, I don't want a relationship. Even if that is true, even if you did want a relationship, it would be extremely hard, right? It would be extremely hard, because most guys are going to be like, man, you know, it's a huge financial burden to get with this chick. You know, and this sounds kind of cutthroat, but finances are greatly considered, especially nowadays. It's greatly considered in relationships, marriage, all of that stuff. It's like there's assets and there's liability, right? Like the movie Baby Boy, Bread and Butter, you know, or Guns and Butter. Okay, Guns and Butter. You know, what is there stuff that, is she a liability or is she an asset? And a lot of these young ladies that have been on the scene, on the dating scene, and messing with Tom, messing with Jimmy, messing with Shaquan, messing with Jose, messing with a slew of guys, just thinking it's all fun and games, right? Thinking it's fun and games. They're going to get older and it's going to really bite them in the behind. And you know, if they're looking for marriage, the guys are going to be like, dang, well, what am I really getting? You know, why am I paying for all of this? And, you know, the chick might want an extravagant wedding. Like, why am I paying for all of this? And she's been around, you know, it's not, it takes away from the exclusivity. So, you know, the hookup culture really did backfire it backfired on the fellas, but it backfired a lot on the young ladies, probably even more. Okay, so, just something to think about. Let me know what y'all thought.